Studio Q show. Now you know.
Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Ain't nothing like the real.
It certainly has to do with artistic issues, but it also has to do with economic issues. It has to do with marketing issues, with my conversations with the people in the subscription department and the people from the press department and all of that about what they think the appeal of a project is going to be. I personally, as you all know, don't like to do the same kind of show over and over again. So a lot of it for me is theatrical contrast. I pride myself on the fact that this is a theater that'll do Noel Coward and August Wilson, that'll do Lorraine Hansberry and Shakespeare, or Lorraine Hansberry and Tom Stoppard.
Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin.
Frankly, the process of choosing a play by an African-American writer is no different than the process of choosing a play by anybody else, which is I just want excellent material. You know, and there are some great plays by writers like August Wilson and Lynn Nottage, who's in next season, and Pearl Clegg, who wrote wonderful, wonderful scripts. And then there's some plays by some black writers that are not so good that I wouldn't do, just because I don't think the material is first rate. And it really comes down to how a particular play contrasts and fits in with all of the other plays or musicals that we're doing. But I would never be a person that wouldn't hold a play by a black writer to exactly the same standard that I would hold any other play. Well, the biggest challenge is always financial. There's never enough money. Right. You know, sometimes sometimes we all of our theaters sometimes get criticized by certain writers in our community, none of you, of course, about choices maybe being too commercial or not challenging or not daring or whatever. And to a certain degree, I'd agree with that. But the fact is that because the economics of running a theater have changed, and that one of the things you have to do is sell not just tickets, but a lot of tickets in order to meet your yearly budget, you have to do what you believe in and what you think is good and what you think is right and important, but you have to also do stuff that you think is going to sell tickets. So sometimes we are, you know, in this sort of hit mentality, because that's what we need to do to keep our theaters alive. You know, the great artistic director Zelda Fitchandler, who started Arena Stage, said something to me years ago. She said, you know, art is great, but you can't create art dead. And that's true. You know, you can be high-minded and artistic and exotic and all of that, but if nobody's coming and the theater's closed, what good is that? So the challenge, beyond just saying the money, and there's not the kind of money that there used to be when Zelda Fitchandler founded her theater with government money and foundation money. So, but beyond that, the challenge is to not completely sell out and do what I would say kowtow to the audience and just do something that you think will sell that you don't also believe in. You know, and then you get great surprises. You know, I have to tell you, I thought Blues for an Alabama Sky would do fine. I did not expect that it was going to be this great big enormous hit that it was. I honestly didn't, you know. So you get great surprises like that where you choose something and you believe in it and you say, well, it'll be okay. And then it turns into a huge success, and the opposite, where you say, okay, this is the one. This one's going to make the season, you know. This will take care of the whole nut. And so, you know, that's the magic of the theater can go both ways, you know. It can turn something small and intimate into a bigger event, and a bigger event can go down the tubes. So, you know, but that's part of the roller coaster ride, I call it. I think Jitney is one of August's most hopeful plays. If you've seen it or when you see it, the end of this play is one of his most hopeful and optimistic, and it's about an economically challenged time and an economically challenged situation that could go bad, could go down the drain, and this location could shut. But in the end, I don't want to give away the ending, but in fact what happens at the end of the play is that a door opens instead of the door closing. And I think that's a really important thing to say economically to our society and to our country right now, because there's a lot of challenges. A lot of people are facing things ending or losing things or things going away or doors getting slammed. And this is about a community, a group of people who say, we're going to figure out a way to keep a thing alive and growing.